Hi everyone, it's Diane with Boho Stamper. Thanks for joining me today for some crafting fun on a Friday. Today we are going to make a card using Nothing's Better Than. Sorry, I have little bits from my card I did the other day flying around here. I had this out because I want to use this set for our workshop coming up on the 21st. And if you're local to us and you'd like to join our card making workshops, the next one is June 21st. And then July 19th we'll be meeting and we're going to make some Christmas cards. Those are Tuesdays and we meet at 10 o'clock. So you can email me if you're interested in local and you would like to join us. I'll get directions to you and make sure that I have all of your supplies ready that you need. Give you any details that you need for that day. So, June shopping code. I still haven't gone through and figured out what I'm using for thank you gifts this month, but I do always try to send something nice out for any $50 order and then add to that another gift if you spend $100 when you shop with me. So as soon as I have some time to sit down and figure out what those thank yous are going to be, I just put an order in. I think I did order something, but I can't remember what. So I checked to make sure that this stamp set is not on the retiring list, and it's not. It is still in the annual catalog and is available. So there's no problem with that. Page 20. Oh, see? Yep, I had it marked for a class. And, yep, there are coordinating dies still available as well. Yay! So, you can get those. The other thing that I did use for this card today are the layering ovals. Layering ovals are not available, but there are layering circles, stitched rectangles. There are wonderful die sets available now. I always say, if you're new and you're starting out and you don't really know what to get for your die sets, look for your basic shapes. So we have stylish shapes. The scalloped contour dies are nice. And of course, stitched rectangles. Those always come in handy. Even the seasonal labels have some nice shapes in there. But we also have the layering circles. And there's another set. What was it called? It is, they're beautiful shapes. Beautiful shapes. Yep, so that would be good for layering too. So if you don't have any basic shapes, those are great ones to take a peek at. So because I knew I was going to use this for our workshop, I thought I would use that today on our card. And I wanted to do a fun fold. So I went searching and I looked up Jan B, who's a demonstrator in the UK for Stampin' Up. She always does great fun fold cards. And she did this little corner fold, which I had never done before. So I thought that was perfect. I think these little coffee cups are very retro looking, and to me that means vintage, pinks and teals. So I did my first sample card with this in polished pink. And we're going to do one with Tahitian Tide together. And I did cut out a lot of the parts. Unfortunately, my son called me when I was cutting this paper, and I just continued cutting and didn't realize I did it all. So I have a couple scraps here so that I can explain to you how to do some of this stuff. Hope you're all doing good. We're good here. We actually had, we've had some rain, but it's a little cooler today. Hoping we get some sunshine. And I don't know if we can see my dimensions, but we're going to start off with a Tahitian Tide card base. And this is 8.5 by 5.5, and then we scored it down the middle to make 4.25 by a 5.5 inch card base. And then we'll get into the template in a minute. Then we need basic white 4 by 5.25, and I didn't cut those, did I? had the paper sitting here and I didn't do it. I don't think. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I was going to say I never have everything ready when I think I do. Yes, because I already trimmed them. 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4, and this will be for the outside and the inside. And then our DSP is 3 3/4 by 5, and I've already got that cut and trimmed. And this is where I said that I will demo another one here because I didn't really mean to cut those ahead of time. And so we need 2 of those. Okay, then on the sample card, we could have layered the designer series paper on white to match the inside card, but really this is kind of thick here, and I think adding 2 more layers of paper might thicken it up a bit too much and start getting kind of bulky. So I opted to just use the designer series paper on these folds. You can save your white triangles that we're going to cut off and use those as a mat for your designer series paper if you choose to do so. Whatever you like. So let me grab then, what do I say, my white 4 by 5 1/4, and we will cut one of these little, have another one I was starting over here anyway, so this will be perfect for that. I won't have to worry about cutting paper for that later. And then my DSP was 3 3/4 by 5, and I was going to use Tahitian Tide on that one as well. And I was just using the 6 by 6 in color paper pad. I have no idea where I put it. That would be because I was trying to find some other colors to use. I don't think I can. Did I leave it out? I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Alright, so if I'm going to use Tahitian Tide again, and I need 2 sheets, maybe I'll do the flowers. I did realize when I was cutting my triangles, I did have to use another scrap of paper because our designer series paper is double-sided, and when I cut my triangles off of my designer series paper, they were both going in the same direction, and for the inside we need them to go in opposites, so I had to save a scrap. Which way do I want these to go? I think I want my stripes to, I want them to go up and down. So 5, 3 3/4. And then I'll just hold on to these here so that we can cut that extra triangle out when I go to show you. Now our template, and this really did come in handy. When I first saw Jan doing it, I was thinking, why don't you just measure it on the cut and score. But this really did work out better because I ended up drawing lines and the template helped me. So our template is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to put all these dimensions down in the description box. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I measured in 3 1/2 inches and just made a little pencil mark. and then I measured down 2 3/4 inches, made a pencil mark. Connected the 2 dots and cut that line. And keep this little triangle. This is what we're going to use to do all of our little cutting with. You just have to remember that since we are going to draw lines, we want to do it on the back side. So I don't want to take my template and put it this way on the back and draw it, because then my cut is going to be on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do, this is the front of my panel. I'm just going to move my template to the back and draw a line along that cut edge. And that's my back side, so it doesn't matter if it has a pencil mark or not. Same with this one. Here's my front. I'm just going to put it on the back. Draw a line. I'm going to do that for my striped paper. And the reason that this is important is because we have 2 patterns here. You know what? I wonder if I should use this, and then I don't have to worry so much about my my lines going up and down. Let's make that our front. Okay, so that's my front. Otherwise, I'm going to be fidgeting with my striped pattern. And then one for the inside. And I guess I should move up a little bit or pull the camera down a little bit, either way. Hubby was up here earlier and he says, well, that's a pretty fancy little light you got there. And my light? You got me that light. He said, no, that thing hanging there. I said, oh, that's my camera. That's our son got that for me for Christmas so many years ago. It's been sitting up here forever. Okay, what's next? What's next? The base. The base. Card base. And I'll lay my template on my card base. I'm going to make a dot at each corner again. I'm not going to draw the whole line. I don't need the whole line. Then I'm going to get my scoring tool. Here you can use your scoreboard if you like. I'm going to line the 2 dots that I just made up into the track. And instead of using the scoring blade, I'm going to use my bone folder, because now I want this to score on the front and the back of this card base. And so I'm going to give it some pretty firm pressure. I can turn it over. And it's made a little bit of a score line, but I'm going to, can you even see there? You can see it a little bit. But I'm going to put it back in the track and just line that up and give it another little score so that it will fold easily. Should I say easier? Might not be easily. Don't know. Although the first one wasn't very hard. Okay. While I have my trimmer out here, let's go ahead and cut these papers. And then we're going to do a little bit of TV magic. I'll just set all the triangles aside. And I'm going to bring back in the the pattern paper that I wanted to use for the coffee card. triangle. I'm just lining my pencil line up inside the opening here. And you can see now how this fits on here beautifully and leaves a nice little border. Cool beans, right? Save all your little bits. Okay. Now, we can go back to the one I wanted to use with the coffee. Same measurements, same cutting. I just want the polka dots for this. Okay. Now, let's get our card base. Where's my little eraser? I had it out here. I'm going to get rid of those little pencil marks I did on my card base. The other ones are on the back. We're not going to see them, but these ones. Okay. So now when I open up my base, this is going to fold in. These are going to fold mountain. And I'm not really pressing hard. I'm just going to gently let the paper work itself into the creases. Trying to get my points to line up on the edge of my card and the point at the top of that fold. I can use my bone folder and go over my creases. And I'll just do the inside as well so that it helps it to stay shut. Okay. And there it is. I like doing fun fold cards. Sometimes some of the stamp sets that I've pulled out that I want to use maybe don't work well with fun folds, but as soon as I saw this one, I knew it was going to be great for my little coffee cups. All right, let's get to this part, and then we'll worry about the little triangles on the inside of the card. So I'm going to adhere my Designer Series paper, trying to keep an even border the whole way around. And the same with our inside panel. Look how that's going to fit right on there beautifully. Yes. And we're going to layer this on here, keeping an even border, I hope. And the inside. And we can fidget with those little triangles, huh? All right. So now we have our, our two triangle pieces. Well, I've already switched them around, so typically are two triangle pieces and would have been cut the same. So if I try to lay this one on the inside and this one on the inside, I have to flip my paper. So I just took a piece of my scrap from what I had already cut these pieces out of, and then just cut that template on the other side so that I can flip my triangle over. Obviously these are going to be too big for our folded sections, so we're going to trim a 1/2 inch off of the flat side. So I'm just going to lay it in my trimmer, lining it up to the 1/2 inch mark over here. Trim that one off. And the same with this. Line that up to a 1/2 inch and trim that off. And look how those little puppies just line up right in there. Now you can add another panel on the top of the inside of your card if you like. But are these the same size? I don't think I made that one 1/2 inch. I didn't. I was looking in the camera and not paying attention, or looking at my computer and not paying attention to my trimmer. I actually thought I was going to get through my whole video here with a voice, so that's about tough. Can kind of tell. And here's where I was saying you could add your white panel if you want to. I think we don't want to take a 1/2 inch off though. I think I'm going to take a 1/4 inch maybe. Let's see if that would be right. Just so if you decide to do this. Yep. Well, that even looks like too much. 1/4. Yeah. Maybe I only want to take like an 1/8 inch off. Which is really hard to measure in here. Let's try it and see how it looks, huh? Just so we know what to do. Yep, an 1/8 inch would do it. And then that would layer in pretty tight though, very tightly. I kind of like it. It's just going to be so thick by the time we put our little coffee cups on. I'm just going to go without it. Yep, stick to the plan, Dave. Stick to the plan. That's no fun. It's always more fun to shake things up a little, right? And that's the inside. Okay, now we can decorate. Yay! Get the glue off my hand so I don't end up smearing it all over. It's going to be cute. I like this. It's so cute. Okay, now already have some of these cut out, but I will show you how we did a little coffee cup. So in the set is a coffee cup stamp, and I can have my scrap paper. Where's my little scrappy dappy? Here. Okay. Just do it on here. And so I stamp the image of my coffee mug. My cup. It's not really a mug. It's the whole thing, huh? So it makes it look so vintagey. And then, if these weren't sticking up in the air, there's also a little steam line there that you could put above your cup, and it's really cute. We did that on a card once before. And then I stamped off one time, and then used the fill stamp to go over the cup, and that way your coffee cup matches your outline. Cutesy, cutesy. But since our coffee cups are going to be sticking up over the card, you don't have anywhere to put that steam. I need that stamp still. Okay. And then I just used my coordinating die and cut 4 of those little coffee cups out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need just a piece of basic white, and today's plan consume some smudgies on that one. That's better on the side. And then I have another scrap because we need to do the inside. Because adulting is hard. So if you have a friend maybe that isn't a coffee drinker, I've pretty much only used the coffee and the cookies out of this one. And I mean all the little decorations that go on them. But the other one I'm doing is a little cocktail. And instead of cutting the words coffee out, I cut cocktails out. And I thought I would do the same thing. I just haven't found, well, I do now. I have that designer series paper now that I'm going to use. I hadn't found what paper I wanted to use with my Tahitian Tide. So I'm going to give that one a try. And then we have, with the layering ovals, too many things laying in here now. Let's see, I cut my coffee word out. I cut this out 3 times because we're gonna layer that up a little bit. Where are my blue ovals? Oh, there's one. Okay, that's what I need. Oh, and there's my cocktails. That's why I have them all sitting over the side. I'm going to make cocktails be the next one. Oh, and you know what? I might use some of those, trying to pick up the dots for the eyes for that before I lose them. Those little clear, what are they called? Opal rounds, I think. But they're clear. They look like little bubbles. That'd be cute on the cocktails one. Okay, now I gotta remember which oval I used to cut this out. Is it that one? No, next bigger one. Don't know why I put it away. Well, I do know why I put it away, because I dropped the scalloped one earlier and I couldn't find it. And I said, that's what you get for not putting it away. Now I gotta shake you up a little bit here. And I'm just using the straight oval die. I'm going to die cut this with my stamped image a little bit towards the top of the oval, so I have room to add coffee. Get it centered, that would be lovely. And then I'm going to use the same oval and cut out my inside message. Scallops. Oh. And this message can be more centered. You also could, if you want to write a little note or something, just do another basic white and add it to either the top inside, or if you cut those same dimensions, it wouldn't be the same dimensions. You'd have to cut your next panel to 3 3/4 by 5, I believe, for your inside. Where did we leave off? DSP was 3 3/4 by 5, so 3 by 4 3/4, and then use that same triangle. You could get one more layer of basic white and lay it in here so that you didn't have to use ovals. You can give that a try and make sure. So 3 by 4 3/4, did I say? Yep. I probably should have looked at that before I cut it, huh? Oh well. It was a good guess. Okay, so let's use my same template triangle. Cut that off. And looky there. Oh, probably should have been a little wider or a little taller, huh? 3 1/2 maybe. But you could do that if you didn't want to use an oval in here, and that would give you a little bit more room to write if you wanted to write a message inside. So let's see if I can figure my math out, since I'm not a whiz at that. 3. 4 1/4 then. If I took 3/4 of an inch off, it would have been 4 1/4, but I would want it bigger. So I would want 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. That would do it. You don't believe me, do you? Here's a scrap. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I wouldn't trust me either at this point. What is that crooked thing? My goodness. How How did I do that? All right, and then let's cut that little triangle off. Lord knows we have enough of those sitting around here. See if I can do this without drawing my line. Or will I regret it? Because this is an experiment. There we go, that would be better. It covers up a lot of your designer series paper in there, but it would give you the room to write if you wanted to, or to stamp your message. I should write that down so when I put this all in the description, on inside basic white then was 3.5 by 4 3/4 in place of oval. All right, but I'm going to use my ovals. Maybe I'll use that in the other one, in my cocktail card. Okay, so because adulting is hard, is going on the inside here. If you had an extra coffee cup, you could always add that in here for some extra decoration. And then decide how you want to lay your coffee cups out. What you want to make sure is that, remember this is going in an envelope, so you don't want anything to be taller than your card. So you can make your coffee cups stick up quite a bit if you like, just not taller than the edge of your card. And then we'll just glue those down. Don't want that to stick up too high. Okay. Today's plan is to consume coffee. I can lay that on my scalloped oval. Get it centered. And then I'm going to use my little silicone mat here. And I have coffee. As I said, I cut this out 3 times. Didn't get all my little bits out yet. Sorry. Should have had that all out, huh? And because I didn't really want to fidget with dimensionals behind these tiny little letters, I'm just going to layer these up. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue with the fine point on there. And this is going to make our font just a little bit more dimensional, but like I said, I don't have to worry then about cutting dimensionals, the foam dimensionals, into teeny tiny little pieces. Okay, I'll add one more layer. 3 seems to be the magic number when you're making cards, you know. Odd numbers work better, so this is also just a nice thickness. Doesn't make it stick out too much. My little tweezers need cleaned. I think I have glue stuck on them. Now I am going to add dimensionals to the back of my little oval here. Add that to the front of my card. Now we can add our die cut coffee to our layered ovals, or squares, or circles, or whatever you chose. Oh, just throw that little puppy right across the card, huh? And I didn't know what little bling I wanted to add to this. So what did I get? What did I pull out? Oh, did I put them away? I'm such a ditz. No, I didn't. I did put some away because I had the little blue rhinestones by Stampin' Up. I did put them away. Oh, I think when I was looking for the die that I couldn't find, I stuffed everything back down there because I was going through all the packages thinking I left my die in one of the packages. Oh, here, this is what I want to use. The oval rounds, I think, for the cocktails one. Alright, that's not funny. And this is why we're trying to use some of this stuff out there. It's just too much. I think, as a matter of fact, I have so many little 6x6 papers. I think I'm going to start making up some little packs of papers and adding them to my little sale items. Where did I put all those blue ones? Doesn't it just drive you crazy? Isn't it maddening? Oh, those bunny ones. Oh, good Lord. Those little blue rhinestones were so cute, too. I was sure that's what I was going to use on this. Well, oh, what are these? Those are blue. The garden gems. I remember them. I guess I could use those. They don't have to be round, right? Huh. Stick these back in here before I can't find them the next time I want them. Oh my God, they're sitting right beside me. Yep, here they are. That's what I was looking at. Oh, good grief. Okay, so I can either use the honeybee little rhinestone ones, but I really thought I wanted to use these. After all that, I'm going to use them. What were these? These were glue adhesive back gems. Oh, I swear they would have bit me right beside me. All right. And there it is. Today's plant lot. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee. Maybe that's my problem. Or where'd my little other drinky go? Maybe it's time for that. Where's that? Oh, see. I'll have to make my cocktails when I show that to you. I'll try to get that finished up. So here's today's card anyway. Cute little corner fold card. Isn't that cute? Because adulting is hard. It really is. Even when your kids are grown and gone, being an adult is hard. So thanks everybody. I hope that you have a lovely weekend and enjoy any nice weather that you have out there. Tune back in Monday, and that's when I do my Stampin' Up stuff. Yeah, well, today pretty much was all Stampin' Up anyway, but still turned out all right. I like this stamp set. And again, if you're interested in that card making workshop that we do, just let me know, and I will get you set up to join us and have some fun. Until then, we'll see ya. Have a great one. Bye.